Are you also a Browns fan? Well, if you said yes to both of those things, and there's a good chance you're probably a little tired of our local Cleveland Browns sports media. Same old thing, day after day, night after night. It's time to hang the cleats up. It's time to pass the torch. If you're looking for something fun, something fresh, something where four people literally smack themselves in the face over and over with hot take after hot take, then my boys at Down with the Browns is where you want to be. It's just good for your soul. Available on Apple Podcast, YouTube, and Twitter. Getting down with the Browns.
And welcome back to another episode of Down with the Browns.
Let's go. Let's go.
Fellas.
How we doing, baby? Let's go. All four of us are here. Is that a Deshaun Watson?
Four.
Bro, you have not worn the Deshaun Watson jersey on this show, bro.
Yeah, I have.
Oh,
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, this is the first time I'm seeing it. Let's get it, baby. Yo, Jeff. Jeff is in the house. Yeah, someone wake up Manny. I'm awake. I'm lit right now. This show needs to be sponsored by Pit Vipers.
For the people listening live, and the people that are listening on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or wherever you listen to these podcasts.
Yes.
Go subscribe to us on YouTube. Go follow us on Twitter, Instagram,
Absolutely.
Facebook. Everywhere
that's
you
cute.
want us, we're there.
Yeah,
We're doing giveaways.
We're doing giveaways. That's a cute little sign, Mac.
Yeah.
YouTube with the star, Facebook with the star, Spotify with the stars.
Yeah,
Stars.
It doesn't cost you anything.
No.
Just follow us.
Just
No.
your pride.
Yeah.
Just your pride. Just your pride,
Yeah.
knowing that you followed out with the Browns. That's the first thing.
That's about
the
it.
first thing.
But
Man, oh man,
Well,
is there a lot of
giving
new
you
stuff?
pride.
oh,
Should be
I
giving
like
you
it.
pride. Should be giving you pride to follow down with the Browns.
Good.
I would just like to, gentlemen, before I finish my prison transfer, unfortunately going getting me across here as possible. I do just want to say and let everyone know, down with the Browns, we do not ignore or recognize meaningless regular season.
Sounds like a beautiful robot, honestly.
Yeah.
Sounds like
Yeah,
Wally is what
we
it sounds
really-
like.
I just wanted to strengthen.
Yeah, we really
Yeah, we
appreciate
need-
your honesty there,
we-
Matty G.
Maybe we need a
Many
written
robot.
statement for like further clarification. You know.
Yeah, like
Um.
a jail note or something like that.
Yeah.
It'd be great. But boys, we had a week off last week. It's great to see y'all's faces, even though I just saw Mac and Matty G in person
Yes.
last Saturday.
Yes.
This past
Yeah, that
weekend.
Cavs game was very fun. Until the clock hit
Was it?
0. But
Yeah.
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 But I'm glad I went.
Easy,
it was a fun,
easy.
It was a fun
Easy.
trip.
I know you want to start bipping, Manny. So you
Oh
better-
no! I'm not gonna say
Oh.
much. I'm not gonna say too much. I won't.
Yeah, and it was a fun
But
trip.
yeah, no, it was a
Had-
great time.
Yeah, I shotgunned a Red Bull in the middle of Barrio.
Yeah, that was
That's cool.
Well, so I want to walk the people at home through this situation and kind of what I got myself into that day hanging out with Christian, Matty G. So we sit down at this restaurant and you write on the ticket, you punch what options you want.
Can we back up beforehand? Can we tell the listeners what time we ate and what time we were supposed to eat? So Mac says meet
I
us.
won't say anything. I'm just gonna wear it.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna wear it. I won't say anything. I'm just gonna wear
Okay,
it.
get your
Bro,
get your uncle knockoff
bro,
TJ Maxx jersey out of here.
bro.
Go get on the barbecue with your New Balances with that jersey, bro. Get out of here.
Yeah, so when Manny left his desk, he actually walked to a Dollar General to buy that jersey and then came back in.
Yeah, for sure.
Bro, let's go. You know the vibes, baby. You know the
That was
Ugly.
Manny.
Ugly.
Did you notice that's not even spelled right?
Bro, what? It is. Ooh. Ooh, wait a second. Wait. No, that's spelled right. That's spelled right.
Is that an O?
No, it's
That's
an E.
an O.
It's an E. It's an E. Look.
Bro, no. But anyways, going back to the story, Max, we can meet up at 2:45. So me and Matty G, we run around Cleveland for a little bit. I go buy a beautiful shirt at GV Arts. Shout out to them. We go to I think Rally Sports. I get me a Cavs hat because when you're in the land, you gotta support. So we do that, and then we leave, and then we pull up to Mac's crib at about 2:40. Mac does not get in the car till 3:25, and me, who woke up at 5:00 to make it to Cleveland before noon, then I get back. I get up to the land, and I'm just starving because I haven't ate the whole trip except like a bag of peanuts. We get to downtown. It's like a 15-20 minute wait. We finally get in there. All right. Just wanted to make you feel like a douche because I had to wait 4 hours for you.
You know what? I had stuff to do that day. I was running super late. I have this problem where I'd start talking to somebody at the gym, and then the next thing I know, a half hour goes by. So yeah, I got caught up in that. I had to run to Kohl's twice because I forgot something while I was there. So that wasn't fun. But anyway, yeah. So I was a little late. Okay, the accusations were true. I got in the car probably half hour after Christian pulled up. But the point is, you cannot take Christian anywhere in public because you act like a hooligan. Now, I love him for it.
That's true. That's true. That is true. I can attest.
It's super awkward that when the waitress grabs our order tickets and goes,
"What?
Who's KFC? KFC? Oh, okay. Who is Matty G Hot Takes? Oh, okay. And then you're Mac. Okay.
You guys put in the Twitter names as your for your order.
Yeah. Well, it's easier to just write KFC than it is Christian.
That is true. And they cannot spell KFC incorrectly. I mean, you could. But speaking of KFC and speaking of our Twitter names, I think I hear something in the distance. Do you guys hear that?
Huh? It's
It's
what the Buffalo Herd,
baby.
Some guys have problems opening up. Give me 6 beers and I'll tell you my life story. This is Mac with the Buffalo Herd. News broke last week regarding defensive tackle Perrion Winfrey as he was arrested for assault last Monday in Harris County, Texas. Days after, it was revealed Winfrey had more incidents during the season that kept in-house by the team. From screaming matches in practice to consistent tardiness, Perrion faced multiple punishments. Turns out, just like that light pole, Perrion can't get out of his own way. Day one of voluntary offseason workouts are underway across the league. This only means 2 things. Workout videos will be hyped up as if they're Super Bowl highlights, and fans Googling what the word voluntary means. Odell Beckham Jr. had his introductory press conference last Thursday in Baltimore after signing his 1-year, $18 million contract. When asked about his conversations with QB Lamar Jackson regarding his future, Beckham said he didn't get any reassurance that Jackson would be his QB this year. Putting yourself in brand new situations without any guarantee the person will be available long-term sounds like my experiences with dating apps. Lastly, Philadelphia Eagle Jalen Hurts signed a 5-year, $255 million contract, making him the highest-paid player in NFL history. News of Hurts resetting the market has caused stress to teams currently negotiating with their franchise QBs, such as Cincinnati and Baltimore. We tried to reach out to Bengals owner Mike Brown for a comment, but he was too busy begging for money outside of Skyline Chili's after liquidating all of his assets. This is Mac with the Buffalo Herd.
That was a deal. Bro, they are broke down there, bro. Their pockets are thin. Their pockets are thin. And we just gave guaranteed money to Deshaun, and we're talking about building new stadiums. Their pockets are thin. It is thin. I mean, oh man. So the first thing we're going to talk about today, because we're going to get to a lot of things we're going to talk about, is it AFC North or bust? for the Cleveland Browns. Some people are saying, yes, we really should be winning the AFC North. We're the best team in this division. Some people are saying, no, we got to talk about some Browns signings. Obviously, the Browns threw out a logo competition for fans. What does Jalen Hurts' extension do to Lamar Jackson? But first and foremost, I do want to touch on the voluntary off-season workouts that are going on in Cleveland per the NFLPA. Mac, you want to take that away and get us started about the voluntary off-season workouts? Because you spoke about it a little bit in what the Buffalo heard.
Yes. So there's 4 phases. Right now they're in phase 1.
Right.
Just some general rules, and this is from the NFLPA website. Workouts cannot begin prior to the first Monday in April. If you have a new head coach, it's that first Monday in April. If returning, third Monday. Workouts are strictly voluntary, so these people do not have to show up. They are wanting to show up for their club here. Club officials cannot indicate workouts or anything other than voluntary. Maximum 4 per week, none on the weekends. 1 week of those 4 are mandatory minicamp. Contact work is prohibited, so none. So no live blocking, tackling, pass rush, bump and run. The intensity and tempo of drills should be at a level conducive to learning with player safety at the highest priority. So these are not too crazy, too expendable, but just right now, phase 1, which is strength and conditioning activities. So these guys are mostly running, lifting. They have an hour and a half max on the field, and then you have to specify basically 2 hours at the facility, and then players choose another 2 hours to do either like more lifts, more work, whatever. So yeah, right now they're just lifting, running, and that's pretty much it.
So out of curiosity, I saw the Cleveland Browns post a video of the offseason workouts and some of the players coming in. Hype me up. I'm so excited for it. But have you seen in recent memory a football team such as this where that many players, that many star players are coming to voluntary offseason workouts? I mean, these guys seem lit. They seem excited about something.
It's in the air.
It's in the air. You feel that?
Funny you say that. You guys feel free to disagree with me, but I feel like that was the same last year. But the only problem is that we had kind of like that big cloud of just uncertainty kind of over the whole thing. But we're gonna get a full season with Watson. We're gonna have a full uninterrupted off season with Deshaun, full mini camp and everything, and he's going to be ready to go week 1. But I will say this. There's just something that happened with this team. Like once they got Deshaun, I think it was when they made that trade happen, it's go time. So everybody, because I mean, you think about it, who right now undebatably is the Browns' biggest star, their captain, Deshaun Watson. He's their leader.
Yeah.
And when the leader shows up and says,
$230 million,
I'm not, yeah, exactly. But it's just, I don't know. To me, it just feels like there's a certain urgency to be in the building now. Like everybody, if you can make it, make it.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And you know what? I don't know about you guys. I did want to touch on this earlier, but I kind of like those hype videos that Deshaun's putting out. I really like that. I really like putting in, you know what it does? It kind of shows the other players on the football team that, hey, I'm out here working, right? I know a lot of people are saying, oh, well, you work in silence. Don't let them know what you're doing. This, fine. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. Well, but I kind of want to see it. It's refreshing.
His hot videos aren't that long. They're like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And it's not really. It's just him
it's just him doing some
working out.
Just show it. Make it cool. Make it cool to work out. Make it cool to put in the work.
Coach posting it.
So yes.
It's not really Deshaun.
It's not really Deshaun.
Deshaun's not hyping himself up.
No.
His guys sending out these videos. So
yeah. So I mean, I think I kind of like it. I personally like it a lot.
Yeah.
It gets me kind of lit. Especially when he's posting pretty regularly. I believe that has an effect on your teammates, right? And just showing, hey, because Isaiah Thomas just put out a hype video of his own on Instagram as well. You know what I mean? Kind of make it look cool, and you get Deshaun in the comments of those videos as well. You guys have been working out before voluntary off-season workouts have begun because they've been doing that work. They've been doing that work.
Well, hey, champions are made. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Cade York needs some
definitely.
videos too. Cade York
no.
does need some videos.
Mhm.
We need some Cade York. We need some Cade. Listen, we might not talk about it tonight, but this might be a prove it year for Cade York. I honestly, I really do believe that we could have that.
I mean, kickers get 2 years. So
yeah. You get 2 years. You are on because again the turnover is so quick.
Mhm.
So when you draft a kicker,
Yeah.
But
I want to.
Isn't it really cool just seeing them, being in the building?
Yes.
They always say
Yes.
champions are made in the off season, and just to have everybody come in, put in the work, feel the need to come in to put in the work, like that's awesome. Just from personal experience, I mean, granted, this was college and years ago, but some of my favorite moments were the team coming together. Now, granted, it was 6 a.m. Not a lot of guys wanted to be there, but within 10 minutes of walking into the building, seeing everybody, put some music on, put the work in, get a sweat on, move some weights. It's hype, and it's an opportunity for these guys to bond. And one of the biggest problems with this team last year was, one, leadership, and two, everybody being so cohesive. So
yes.
Well, one thing that I know, like, Manny's going to be totally against this, but it's kind of good that the Cavs are in the playoffs, so these guys can go to these Cavs games and bond. Because
that's true, though. That's true, though.
You're outside of the building.
That's true, though.
You go to a Guards game, you go to the Cavs playoff games, and they can bond at these.
And they haven't been able to do that. They haven't been able to do that in a while. They haven't been able to do that in a while.
These new guys like
that's a good
Dalvin
point.
Tomlinson, Elijah Moore, you go out, you get them out of where you're. It's like going and hanging out with your work friends.
Yeah,
and you get them out of a different environment. You guys get a better connection, more chemistry going on when when you guys hang outside. So that just builds team chemistry,
And team chemistry is important, because if you guys ever play video games about any sports video games, there's a way to see that team morale, and then you guys go a bowling or whatever in the video game. That's a great point. That's a great point. I'm not going to diminish it just because it's a CAF playoff, but that's a very good point. Everybody gets to go there and just feel the energy of the city, energy of the fans, and you haven't been able to see that in a while. But speaking of your experience, KFC, I just want to touch on a little segment here that you have. So a quick commercial break with your segment. What's the surprise segment that you have for the listeners and for the viewers right now? Really quickly before we move on to the AFC Championship.
If you guys do follow good old Matty G on all your favorite social media platforms, I know what this is. You guys will know that he is not quite the most positive person, because if you saw his little rant this past weekend, he was I'm going to keep this clean. He was pooping on the 22-game win streak that the Gardos or the Indians had a couple years ago. And so, I came up with a list of 5 things that are more positive than Matty G. Point number 1, New Yorkers paying when New Yorkers go to pay their $5 million a month rent to live in a cardboard box.
Wow. Yeah, that's
number 2.
That's true.
Okay.
Girls' pregnancy tests after entanglements with Nick Cannon. Number 3, Manny, after seeing OBJ, was not coming back to Cleveland.
Ooh.
Number 4, Mac, after seeing Nick Chubb, was not rushed 20 times in a Browns game.
While I'm
number
wearing
5,
the Nick Chubb hoodie. That's perfect.
And number 5, the Celtics playoff hopes.
Ooh.
Okay.
Snuck that in.
Okay.
Snuck that in.
I'm not gonna lie. I forgot my fifth one, so I had to just think of one on the spot because I was driving as I was trying to remember them. I had a good one. I'll think of it here in a minute.
Okay. Well, before you know what? On that note, I'm going to light a candle for those nasty little Cavs because after I saw that performance versus the Knicks, I don't know what exactly is going to happen. So this is lighting a candle for the Cavs.
I remember it.
What?
A Taylor Swift album after a breakup.
Oh,
that's what.
That's heat. That's fire. That's fire. Okay. By the way, she's going on tour. So shout out.
She's already on tour.
I think she's already on tour, right? Okay.
Yeah. Why does she do that whole she puts herself in a box and then she just I don't understand that.
I don't understand it either. I really don't. I'm not sure.
I'll contact my sources close to the information on that, and I'll let you guys know.
Shout out to Taylor Swift. I do want to get really quickly on to, as we're shifting gears, Jalen Hurts. Shout out to Jalen Hurts. Got quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. Got a bag. Got his bag. Got the big bag. The Brinks truck. Back up the Brinks truck. 5 years, $255 million, 179 guaranteed. Hey, with Justin Herbert's contract being out there, Joe Burrow's current contract being out there, Lamar's potential contract being thrown out there, Deshaun Watson's contract ain't going to look so bad very quickly.
I wonder who said that last year.
What do you know? So we're all talking about 230 guaranteed. What do you know? It's not going to look so bad now, is it? Because Jalen Hurts right now in the Philadelphia Eagles, Howie Roseman right now are kind of showing you what a good quarterback who brings you to the Super Bowl is worth. Okay, yeah. And if that's what you're seeing, Lamar Jackson's number is going to be really interesting. These contracts are going to get done before Lamar. Okay, I have a question for you. How is this going to affect Lamar Jackson contractually, or will you need to add in Justin Herbert's contract and Joe Burrow's contract? What do you guys think? What do you guys think?
Hear me out on the Lamar situation. I think he's dealt sometime next week. I would say Wednesday or Thursday. I think it's going to be before the first round, like the first pick, and it's going to get swapped right then.
You think so? You think so? Not during the draft.
I mean, they're
think it'd be dealt before?
I think it's going to happen before it because they're going to try to get like a top 5 pick, so the Ravens can get that. And because there's
the fact that the Odell signing didn't give, he saw the move and he was just like, yeah, I still can't reassure you that I'm going to be there. Like that's what he said to Odell's face on the phone. Hey, I not for sure that I'm going to be here. Lamar Jackson wants over $200 million guaranteed. The team, Baltimore Ravens, they're going to look at it and say, oh, well, Eagles only gave Jalen Hurts 179. You should be grateful that we're offering you this. Lamar's not going to take it. Like nothing new has happened in his contract negotiations from the last time they offered him something. So, they're going to have to sit down and have that internal discussion. Okay, we need to move.
Yeah.
No, 100%. And I think that
just because he won't sign and just because he requested a trade doesn't mean that those trade talks were legit in the first place. Because here's the thing. Teams could still be calling in to Baltimore and just saying, hey, what do you want for Lamar? They're going to offer some crazy trade. The team's going to hang up. But what happens when it starts getting closer and closer and everybody in the room knows that Lamar's got to go?
Yes.
So, Hear me out. I just thought of something big brain powered. What if Lamar Jackson is holding out from contact with teams till after the draft, so he screws the Ravens out of them potentially getting a quarterback for his replacement? Because that is their biggest ammo in a trade package, because they could easily a team like the Colts, the Falcons, some team like that needs a quarterback that picks in the top 10.
I don't, but
and Jim Irsay is sitting here having a scotch and a cigar, just kind of waiting by the phone.
Yeah.
Just waiting to pick that up and talk to Eric DaCosta.
Because there's no way. There's got to be something in the water because there's no way that these teams don't want an MVP caliber quarterback
Well,
in
the thing
Lamar
is
Jackson.
about like that is like if you go back to the Deshaun Watson thing, like
Right.
as soon as he got cleared,
Right.
like dude, there was teams foaming at the mouth trying to
Yeah.
get a hold of him.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they knew that the Texans had to get rid of him.
They knew it. They knew it. And they know that the Ravens have to get rid of Lamar. They know that. And so the writing's on the wall. It's just a matter of if you want to do it or not. I do
and they
believe
paid a wide receiver too, $18 million in the process.
For whatever reason. It was out of desperation. It truly was. And now there's some reports coming out here saying Lamar Jackson actually said, I want DeAndre Hopkins or OBJ, and then we'll talk. So now he has OBJ, and now discussions can be had. But I think it's just too far gone. I really do. I've been saying this for a very long time. Lamar doesn't have an agent, which means the team has to talk directly to Lamar and has to give an explanation as to why we can't give you a contract extension. What are some of the doubts that we're having against you, Lamar, that we can't give you this money? And Lamar probably is like, man, oh man, usually that would go through a third party, through that agent, but it was sent directly to him. So now I think it ruffles some feathers. I really do. It's a little bit disrespectful. So I don't know. I mean, Lamar has done more for the Ravens than just Jalen Hurts has done for the Eagles. I'm just comparatively speaking. I know that Jalen Hurts went to the Super Bowl, but I mean, look at the weapons. Look at the offensive line. I mean, Lamar has not gotten anything in Baltimore, and Lamar is the offense. Lamar is the offense. Lamar is Baltimore at this point, right? Sure. So I don't know.
And the best part about this is that since Lamar doesn't have an agent, the only people breaking the news is Baltimore.
Yeah.
The only thing that we hear from Lamar's camp is from what he's tweeted out. Who really – I think it's a lot worse than it's being led on, which is why, the fact that the Baltimore Ravens straight up had to shoo a reporter out of the building. Asking the question. There was no, it's not like he was sitting there and he was trying to lead him on a little bit. No, he just asked him, it was something along the lines of, when was the last time that you talked to Lamar? And they were like, oh, we're
staying away from Lamar questions. We're staying away from Lamar questions. No Lamar questions here. And it's weird. You know what? And Brandon, you bring up Lamar can't throw. I understand first and foremost, it's true. Okay, Lamar can't throw. But he's gotten better. Would you agree that he's gotten better?
And with his legs, he's a top 10 threat in the NFL.
Exactly.
Doesn't
Brandon also says it's also mid-April, and Mac still has not jumped into Lake Erie.
Yes, So KFC and I talked about it. There is a future punishment going on.
Right.
Yeah, it's in the works. It's in the works. I do understand it took me forever. The one day that I was going to do it actually on St. Patrick's Day, but it was raining. So not trying to get electrocuted. Thanks, Brandon.
Cry, baby.
Listen. Oh, yeah. Anyway, look, I do want to talk about really quickly for about a couple of minutes, couple of seconds maybe, just the Browns signings here over the past 2 weeks since we haven't been here. It's honestly really recent. Michael Dunn, guard, bringing back. I think that was a great idea. How do you feel about that signing really quick? How do you feel about that signing? Some depth piece. Does that mean Wyatt Teller's gone?
No, doesn't mean Wyatt Teller's gone. But it means that they have a backup plan when Teller misses.
I saw JC say on Twitter. He said, "Buy it, Teller, buy Teller."
I don't understand. People hold so many grudges against certain contracts on this team, and granted, was there a time where we were talking about a possibility of him moving when the Browns are possibly trading for another piece? Sure, but here's also at the same time, you're not going to just drop him for the money because Teller is still a damn good guard in this National Football League. But there are going to be points of the season where he's not available. So you have Michael Dunn who can step in, who has played on this offensive line. He's played next to Jack Conklin. He's played next to Ethan Poshik. And I like him as a depth piece because God forbid you have one of your offensive linemen go down in the middle of the game. Don't you think you want somebody on reserve that can step in and maybe not be the best, but like not be a liability, you know? So I like Michael Dunn. In terms of still, he played a little bit, wasn't great, but you know, somebody on the team at defensive tackle might get dropped in the next couple days. And then you got Thomas Graham Jr., another depth slot piece of corner.
Is that a receipt?
What's on that piece?
Those are my stats I wrote down earlier.
Oh,
Speaking of defensive tackles.
Ooh,
But I'll wait for when we talk about draft.
All right.
Oh yeah, we could talk about the draft, and then we're gonna go talk about the highly anticipated AFC North Championship or bust debate. So first and foremost, NFL draft begins Thursday, April 27th. But what?
Can we go ahead and announce what we're going to be doing during day 2 and day
please.
3?
Yes, a special thing we're doing for the draft this year. KFC, go ahead, take it away.
So
take it away.
I know Mac and Matty G may not be able to attend this certain episode.
Yes.
Because we're going to be going live on Friday, April 28th at about noon. And it's going to be a special event. We're going to be on for a few hours. We're going to talk draft. We're going to get some guests on. We're going to get people in so we can just chat about these draft prospects and do a little recapping of day 1 because, you know, there's going to be some people that are picked higher than expected and people that are going to fall. So we're going to sit there and we're going to do that. So on next Friday,
it's going to be a good
tune
time.
in.
Going to be a good time.
Down with the Browns.
It's going to be a very good time. I think honestly, I just want to poll the room really quickly, and everybody who's listening, can you chime in the comments section as well? Because I don't know if I'm alone in this, but my question is, because the Cleveland Browns are picking third in the third round, and we kind of addressed all of the really glaring needs that we really need. Is this draft somewhat a little bit, I don't know if boring is the right word, but not highly anticipated as normal? I mean, PFF, there's 32 football teams in National Football League, and PFF has only 2 teams that their draft needs are one position. That's the Buffalo Bills, and that's defensive back for them, and it's the Cleveland Browns, and it's interior defensive lineman. So it's just like we have done a lot to address a lot of glaring holes. So is it, for you guys and people in the comments, is it kind of not exciting this year, or is it, or is it due to something else, or are you guys excited?
I'm pumped.
I'm pumped.
I
Yeah.
love talking college athletes coming pro. You know, it's a great time because there's so many people that you don't even really know until the combine. And then you start hearing about them, and then how they're before the combine, they're projected like 6th round, and then they move up to like the 2nd. And even with quarterbacks, like there's quarterbacks they're not like huge names because they don't go to big schools. And then there's guys like Tyreek Hill that get picked late, Antonio Brown that go to these smaller schools that get picked real late. Yeah, and they're really good. And that's what I love about the draft is there's always people that are going to fall in like the 5th, 6th, 7th round, 4th, whatever round it is that they fall to. And it's just like they come out and they're just like all pro.
That's a good point. Mac, what do you think? You sound like you're really excited.
Anytime that you're adding talent to this football team, I'm all for it, and I'm excited. And MC's got a great point. Anything NFL is exciting. Now I'll say this, I'm also very excited because of the thing that you mentioned. The Browns still need a defensive tackle.
Yes.
Yes. So
okay. Responding to this comment by Andrew, that says, "Can't wait for KFC coffee and mayo tweet. If Will Levis is picked in the top 5, I will drink coffee and mayonnaise. I'll put it in a cup and I will chug that crap as soon as I can."
That's disgusting. That is disgusting, bro. That is
disgusting.
I know that's the thing, and I know that's your boy from Kentucky.
But you know, the thing is like people don't even realize he eats bananas without peeling them too.
I saw that video. That's really disgusting. That's really disgusting. If you're a viewer, look it up.
I don't understand. You're going to do disgusting things like that, and then you're going to tell me that Miller Lite is awful?
Yeah.
I'd rather have a Miller Lite than put mayo in my coffee.
Yeah, but that don't get you clout, Mac.
That don't get you clout. Jeff says, I am concerned for KFC's health.
I hear that a lot for some odd reason.
Yeah, we all are.
Go Browns, Jerry. Go Browns.
Go Browns.
Go Browns, Jerry.
But if we
Jeff
can go
also
back
says last thing. Yeah. Going quick again. Jeff says, if the NFL draft is boring for us, that's a good thing. But I am hyped to see who they snatch up. I totally agree. I mean, you want to be bored for the NFL draft. Because what that means is either your team is picking low because whatever, I mean, they're blowing picks left and right. That might not be the greatest idea. But if there's no glaring needs, if there's no, player or position that you're going in the draft saying, hey, we really, 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 really need this extremely badly. Some people are still saying defensive line. I know last year it was wide receiver at 13. It was potentially cornerback at 13. But, we were all excited. We were all Drake London or whatever, see who we can get. But obviously, we got a very talented quarterback under center, so that kind of makes up for that. But yeah, so with our picks this year, are there any players that are here? Are the picks? KFC, I kind of want to hear you got some stats and there's players ready to go.
I took some time today.
Okay,
I wrote down some very good stats for defensive tackles because we need another defensive tackle. We probably actually need about 2 more. If you're asking me, I think we need another vet and then bring in a rookie. That would be a dream off season. I would run through a wall legit.
I don't know. I like the flyer on Maurice Hurst, but
I do too. But we need like a for sure, like just another, like an Al Woods type guy, something like that. That would if we got.
I love Al Woods.
I want Al Woods. I'm just gonna say it. Yeah. But anyways, going back to the draft, out of Wake Forest, Kobe Turner, 23, 6'3". 290, had a PFF grade last year of 92.2, had 2 sacks, 4 QB hits, 27 hurries, 38 tackles, 10 tackles for loss, 2 pass deflections, 3 forced fumbles. And then
so that PFF grade was the 4th best defensive tackle grade in college football last year.
Yeah, in the country.
He is ranked 96th on PFF's big board.
Yeah. And do you know how many players that are in that college realm of like numbers, like defense tackles? It's like 400.
Yeah.
So, but
pretty nutty.
But going down to the.
Can we keep talking about Kobe Turner?
Oh yeah, my bad. Let's chat.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Kobe.
I do like him. Wake Forest and like he's. The one knock on him is just simply he's not the best at rushing the passer. A lot of his sacks are just more or less he's caging the quarterback and getting a containment sack, so to speak. But everything else is just you love it about him. He's 6'3", 290, so he'd fill that 3 technique role with Dalvin Tomlinson being the nose tackle there. And I love his ability to get off the football. I love how quick he is. And I just love his pad level. Low man wins. And damn, can Kobe Turner get up under somebody's pads?
Yeah, he gets the max.
I love his tape. And you would see why, if you flip on the tape and watch him out of Wake Forest, you will see why he was the 4th best rated defensive tackle by PFF.
Yeah, for sure, dude. He's a dog. Straight.
Absolutely.
Dog.
He's a straight dog. Straight dog.
He got that dog in him.
He got that dog in him. He's got that dog in him. But go ahead, Casey.
Like, the only thing I think that the reason he's falling down draft boards is because of his age. He's getting ready to turn 24 here soon. That's the only reason. Because, when people are picking high, they're wanting somebody for longevity. So I think that's why.
Sidebar about that. Can I I want to know your guys' thoughts on this because that part really just that grinds my gears.
Yeah, me too.
Just because he's a little bit older, if he's ready to go, who cares?
Exactly.
Who cares? Because
True.
You get a guy that's 22. Okay, if he's going to take 3 years to develop, he's going to be playing good at the same age as somebody coming out at 25 that's ready to go. I mean, some guys, they're picked so young that they aren't even like physically full developed. So they have to I don't know. Maybe it's just me. And let me know, guys, in the comments listening. But is it really worth it picking a guy if you have to wait till year 3 to see something?
I think
just because he's young, you know what I mean?
See, I agree. Sometimes it's better to get young. That like if you see a raw prospect that's like 20 years old, and he's fast as lightning, he's got good size. Like I can see that. I could see why he would get picked over a guy that's getting ready to turn 24 who may be more ready. But if you think you can get more potential out of the other guy, I see both sides to that. But
good point.
And I think it depends on position too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like if you have a quarterback that's going to sit there and you're going to be able to, which by the way, DTR, I would love to get DTR on this roster, not for any starting quarterback purposes, because we have our quarterback for the future for a while. But I'd rather have him as my backup quarterback than Josh Dobbs. I'm just saying, I'm in the minority with that. But anyway,
can we see what Kellen Mond is doing? Please.
Yeah.
If we're gonna save a roster spot for this guy, can we at least figure out what we're gonna do with him?
All I'm saying is, Manny, go look at his Texas A&M tape. Go watch his Texas A&M tape.
Yeah,
I know he's got.
I don't really like when people say go watch their college tape because I can watch Johnny Manziel. I can watch Johnny Manziel tape all day every day.
He
does have a cannon, and he's been backing up for a very long time.
Okay, look at who he's backed up though. He's back. I mean, I'm not saying Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins.
But when you got a fully guaranteed contract like that, you're not going to start over Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
And then you're not going to start over Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Mond was Andrew's right. Mond was 66 overall. So, I mean, there's that. I mean, is there any KFC? Is there any other guys in the draft that you like? I've
got 3 more.
Okay, go ahead. Let's do it.
We're going down to Texas.
Yes,
we're gonna throw them horns up. We're gonna talk about
Arch Manning.
Maro Ojimo. I believe I pronounced that right. That's how I'm gonna say it. But he did pretty good too. He comes in a little bit younger. He's 21, getting ready to turn 22 here soon. And he is a 5th-year senior. So he spent some time down there at Texas. He is 6'3", 292, ran a 40 of 5.04, PFF grade of 90.6, which he was actually the 8th defensive tackle rated through PFF. Had 3 sacks, 1 QB hit, 20 hurries, had 32 tackles, 5.5 tackles for a loss, and he had a pass rush win rate of 17.8.
I like him a lot. And not a fan.
And I'll
Max
throw you this.
Not a fan.
See, I'm not a fan only because
Wow.
He's 6'3", he's 6'3", 290. He's a 3-tech, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's too slow off the ball. I'd rather pick another guy that you had on your list, Zach Pickens.
Mm-hmm.
He's an inch taller. He has a lot more length.
Let me clarify. Let me clarify why I put him on there. I don't want him at 74. If he's there at like 111,
okay.
That's where I'm thinking like get him. Yeah. But I've wrote these down kind of in order of like PFF grade, because that's where I went first for stats. But on the next on the list, it's Pickens. Pickens 23, 6'4", 291, ran a 40 of 4.89. That's pretty quick.
He was booking it.
That boy right there fast. He got some wheels on him, boys. PFF grade of 90.6. Or no, wait, my bad. Read the wrong one. Actually, his PFF grade is actually drastically lower. It's 67.3. But he had 42 tackles, 4 tackles for a loss, 2.5 sacks, and 3 pass deflections. But, the competition he was playing against is slightly better than what Texas was playing and what Wake Forest was playing. He's playing in the SEC. I'm not going to brag about the SEC, but it is Big Ten and SEC. Yeah.
They breed big 6'6", 300-pound linemen, So
That's true. And for your fifth, Kiffy?
It is another Texas Longhorn, Keandre Coburn, 22, 6'2",
I think you
300.
like these Texas boys.
Huh?
You like these Texas boys.
I mean, they're putting out pretty good linemen right now.
Yeah.
I'd say, like
Mhm.
for where they're at in the draft. Let me
Right.
Not like top tier,
in general. Right.
Later on, like 4th, 5th rounders. Keandre Coburn, 22, 6'2", 332 pounds. That boy big. His 40 was 5.22. Had a PFF grade of 77.1, 29 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 2.5 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles. So I think that's
still pretty good.
That'd be your nose tackle. Sit there right over the ball.
I'm surprised you don't have one more on your list.
I kept it short.
The guy the Browns met with last week, reported by Noah, Trevon Dexter, 6'5", 310, your typical nose tackle. The only problem with him, not so consistent, but he's been to the facility. They've met multiple times. This past one was his second visit, and you flip on the tape. There's a lot of potential there, and he's just so big. I think what's really nice about some of these prospects is just the bigger frame, because we were missing that 6'5", that 6'4" height in the middle there.
Yes, we were. We really were.
Yeah, I'm pretty hyped. I think that as weird as it is, I was telling Manny this earlier. I think that this draft it's weird. Like, I think that the top tier talent isn't there like it normally is, but your like second tier of talent is drastically larger in this draft. Like, you've only got so many guys that are going to test as like a first round pick, but there's guys that I could see going like anywhere from 40 to like 90.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's no in between. Like, it's just like,
Yeah.
people want to knock that, but like, I think that's pretty cool because like you could get a guy to fall to you just because I think that second wave of talent's just there's so much of it.
Yeah.
Well, they could simply like have a guy fall just because of preference.
Yeah.
Like, if the talent is being evaluated on a straight playing field, what's the determining factors? Probably guys that they've met with, or guys that they really like, which is pretty much preference.
Yeah. And like, I think the safety class this year is super deep. I don't think enough people talk about that. Like, Jamie Robinson is a dog. Like, man, if the Browns can land him at 74,
yeah,
I'm telling you, bro, I'm going to go hop on that lawnmower and do donuts again. Blade
that was
down.
hilarious, by the way. That was hilarious.
Blade down and everything. Have Dan Scott screaming at me again.
Bro, that was
I mean, you don't get any more NASCAR than that, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah,
you ain't first or last.
Exactly.
All right. Drum roll. It is time to talk about, is it AFC North champs or bust for the Cleveland Browns? I know this is going to be very, hopefully not confrontational, but it's going to be, just a hot take here, right? For everybody.
Yes.
But I do want to get to Mac first. I want to talk to Mac first about this and see what your ideas are. If it's AFC North or bust, and then we'll go KFC, and then I'll say if it's AFC North or bust for us. Go ahead, Mac.
So,
take it away. You have a free clear minute.
I got a lot of energy behind this one. This was for everybody at home. I proposed this to the guys because this is what I truly feel with this team. And there's a lot of reasons why. Okay. Reason number one, Kevin Stefanski's record in the division. If you do not count that playoff game, he is 500. Now, why is that significant? So since 1967, only 4 teams went losing into the division and made the playoffs. That was Kansas City in 2010, 2002 Miami, 1971 San Fran, and 1982 Green Bay. So, the easiest way to the playoffs is winning that division. Kevin Stefanski's been sitting in the AFC North basement his whole tenure here. And this is the year to do it. You take his competition in the division since he's gotten here. This has been the weakest it's been. And let me tell you why. So we'll start with that team out east, the Steelers. Okay? For the first time that I've seen in my lifetime, they have a bottom tier quarterback.
Yes.
And I don't care what they believe. Okay, we get it. He's a hometown kid. He's got a mullet. He wears gloves when he throws. We get that. But in reality, he had the 33rd worst passer rating and the worst TD percentage in the NFL last year.
Yep.
Now they go, well, 33rd worst passer rating. How did anybody get a worse passer rating than that? It was Zach Wilson. So the only quarterback that he was better than last year was Zach Wilson. You look over to that team that stole our franchise. They're running a brand new offense. They just paid $18 million to a wide receiver 2 to be their wide receiver 1, and they don't even know what's going on. Yeah, and they don't even know what's going on with Lamar. Your quarterback isn't there in the offseason program to install the new offense. I don't even care if he's coming back. They're going to have problems. And then you look over at the Bengals. They lost both their starting safeties, and they don't know what's going on with their running back position. The worst thing that you can do for Joe Burrow is make that offense one-dimensional.
Yeah.
Because I promise you, every time they come to Cleveland, if they try to play one-dimensional, they won't be able to because guys like Myles Garrett will take over.
You won't like this at all, Taylor. You're not going to like this at all.
Yeah.
Mac is talking about your Bengals.
If the Bengals do not dress their safety and running back position, they're going to be in trouble. Samaje Perine don't know. You don't know what's going on with Joe Mixon. Whether or not you want to say whoa, but you don't know. And you make this offense one-dimensional, that's how you stop it. I mean, that's how they got embarrassed, at Halloween in Cleveland, Jacoby Brissett. It's not like, it took the Browns forever to start scoring. So
That's
it
true.
wasn't like
That's
the Browns
true.
blew them out to begin with. Like the Cincinnati just could not move the ball because they weren't running the football. And now you have defensive ends team off on your guys every single snap. So, that's my argument here. It's AFC North championship or bust. It really is.
It's AFC North champion. So if it's not championship, right? It's not championship, then it's a bust. Then the season's low-key a failure. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, you got to go on a run.
Right.
Oh, well,
Right.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. But yeah, you got to go on a run with every game being a road game. And, I'm sorry. It's the last time that happened. I think it was the Packers.
Yeah.
That started out as a wild card team and then won the Super Bowl. Fact check me on that, but
Right. I'll go to KFC and then I'll give my thoughts on if it's AFC North or bust or not, because I'm gonna let KFC cook. I'm gonna let KFC cook, and then we're gonna let that rock. We're gonna see. Go ahead, KFC.
I like
Max
that.
Hash, that's
Trademark
awesome.
that.
Trademark that.
Can I just say,
Yeah.
I'm not scared of anybody in the AFC North
At all.
Joe Burrow.
Not one team in the AFC.
I mean, the Cincinnati
potentially
offense,
same state.
Yeah, I'm not scared of anybody in that. I mean, the offense that the Bengals run, it's great. They got had a great pickup this offseason, getting Orlando Brown. Oh, voice crack, bad. Okay, anyways.
Yeah. You're lying to yourself. That's what happens when the Lord catches you.
I mean, I gave them good praise right there, man.
You did.
I was talking
Wait,
about
Orlando Brown Jr., the same guy that got roughly the same amount of pressures as Jed Wills? Right? Same guy? Same guy?
But it's better than what they had.
Yeah.
But let me.
You
Yeah,
said no.
exactly.
Chiefs are the only team we're concerned about.
Yeah, I'm not scared of the Bills either. I'm sorry. If this defense can play as well as I think they can under Jim Schwartz, because Joe Woods had the talent, but he didn't know what he was doing. He kept running zone. He kept running Madden plays. But anyways, I'm gonna get back to this discussion. What Cincinnati's doing on offense, great. But, like you said, Joe Mixon, we don't know what's going to happen there. But, on that other side of the ball.
AB, my guy.
When are we all of a sudden not afraid of whatever?
Because if you look at that defense, they've lost quite a bit. They don't have a safety except for Dax Hill or whatever his name is. They just lost two of their best safeties. Who are they going to put out there? Because, the guys that they wanted, Browns signed one of them. The other one went, Jesse Bates went to Atlanta. So, they really haven't picked up anybody in that secondary. Their secondary's awful anyways. And with Deshaun cooking, bro, he's going to toast them. It's going to be a shootout, I think, when we play them. But I think we come out on the top side both times. The Ravens, not going to have a quarterback. They're falling apart.
True.
Pittsburgh.
True.
Great, well-coached team by Mike Tomlin. Don't matter who he puts out there on the field. But we've got the AFC North Championship in sight. 4 is coming off season where everybody has doubted him. Everybody is against Deshaun Watson. They have been for the past 3 years. Huh?
To say.
But I'm not scared because we're cooking them all. O-line's going to come out, play well. Wide receivers, Elijah Moore, going to cook them. We're winning the North.
I'm gonna, you know what? In preparation, this is Listerine. All right, I'm gonna roll because I'm about to say something really positive. I'm about to say something really positive about Cincinnati, and I had to wash my mouth out really quickly. Okay.
I'm gonna have to put a dip in.
But before I do that, I do want to address the other two teams in the division, and I want to be very, very clear here. Okay. Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, we don't care. Let's be really honest. We do not care. And in all honesty, Lamar Jackson is gone. He's not going to be in Baltimore anymore. So why are we? That is truthful. We understand that. We've seen the Jalen Hurts contract come out. He's not going to be in Baltimore, and we saw what happens when the Baltimore Ravens do not have Lamar Jackson. That's number one. It's Tyler Huntley, and he's 0-2 versus Cleveland Browns. What is this? What is this? This man doesn't play for them anymore. He does not. Benjamin Todd does not play for them anymore. So why do we care? What do we care? We don't even care about that. You want to know who we care about? Is him. This is who we actually care about. Because until further notice, it's through Cincinnati. For some weird reason, they're doing extremely, extremely well, and they came out of nowhere, and they're kind of in this box. They're coming in this time zone here where I think next year is their last good year because they're going to have to start paying people. And guess what? When you're living in Cincinnati, Ohio, you're not just going to take pay cuts for just everybody. Okay, you're going to need your money. You're going to want your money because it doesn't have the enticement that Cleveland, Ohio does. Okay, so that's why I'm saying we have a serious problem on our hands when it comes to this year. That's why I'm not saying AFC North champs are bust because there's still competition with Cincinnati. When we're going to put 2 and 2 together, if we make the playoffs from a wild card, go on a little run, I don't care if we're AFC North champs right now. I really don't. Who cares about that? Because I'm telling you, next year, it is the year after that when we're going to be AFC North champs. We're going to have home field advantage. We're going to start to really integrate Deshaun Watson into this football team, and it's going to be molded around Deshaun. I don't care about AFC North champs because the Bengals can have it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
No. See,
it's Cincinnati.
Manny, you're making very fair points here. And the only problem that I have is that the fact that you own a Joe Burrow shirt. Okay?
I can't reveal my sources. I can't reveal my sources. That's all I'm saying.
That's what I'm sitting here flabbergasted. And I'm just trying to focus, but I just can't.
I got props. Like visual learners out there. I gotta show people what's up.
All right. Okay. That's fair. But here's what I'll say is that it needs to be a point of emphasis that they need to win the division this year. It really needs it. The fact that the Browns have never so listen to this is the part that I still can't wrap my head around as a fan. How many teams are out there that can say, we've never won the division?
Oh, not many. Not many. Not many. Not many. Not many
Never.
teams.
Not even
many.
one time. Because the last time they did it in 1989, it was the AFC Central.
Yes.
And the Houston Oilers were
Yes.
part of that. The Houston Oilers aren't even a thing anymore, dude.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's you know, it's and like I get it. Cincinnati, they're a very good football team.
Yes, they are.
There's
yes,
a
they
reason why the past 2 seasons they went to the AFC Championship game and they went to the Super Bowl. Okay, it's not just because of dumb luck. But if you really want to say, hey, we are for real, go win the freaking division.
You don't need
Major League, go win the whole.
You don't. But you don't need.
okay?
But you don't need all that. You don't need all that right now. You know what I'm saying? I know you don't need all that. What you need is showing Deshaun Watson can get to the play. That's more of a bust, right? If you don't win the AFC, NFC North, the North this year, that's not really a bust, okay? Because if you make the playoffs, you win a playoff game, you win a playoff game or two. People are going to look back on the season and say, absolutely, that was a great season. Deshaun Watson came back and won some road playoff games and showed people we can win on the road. And then again, we might have an overall record of what, 11-6, 12-5. You know, and finish behind a 13-4 Cincinnati Bengals. You never know. You never know. But
yeah,
I will say,
if we win the AFC
everybody's
North,
talking about a stadium. Everybody's talking about a brand new stadium. Why don't we want to have a playoff game in it? What is
because
the whole
we don't have that until
point?
2027 or 2028.
no, he's talking. Let's have the Cleveland Browns stadium go out with some home playoff games. You know, I know it's a few years away, and
that stadium has never seen a playoff game,
and that will be sexy. That'll be nice to see. That'll be really gorgeous to see. But what I'm telling you is that we don't need it or bust. I mean, I would love to have a home playoff game. I really would. I would love to make my travels over to Cleveland. I would love to have a glizzy right in that stadium. I would love to. I would love to. But here's the problem with that. We don't need it. It's not a bust. It's not the whole season's not a bust, though. You know what I mean? It's the terminology of the question.
True.
So that's why I'm
okay.
You know, so what I'm asking you now, if you would have asked me the question, if it's playoff or bust, I mean, someone will be fired. Jeff said it best. If you're talking about playoffs or bust, if you're saying that we're not going to win the playoffs, or we're not going to win the playoffs, it's a playoff or bust. If you get to the playoffs and we don't win a playoff game, depending on how we don't win that playoff game, that might be a bust. But I mean, this division is so. It's so hard to just chalk it up to saying AFC North Division champs and whatever the case may be. But I'm looking at Cincinnati, and it's so. Is it wrong for me to give props where credit is due? They're a hard football team to beat because they win those games they're supposed to win. They might lose to us. We might smack them around. We don't care about Joey B. We'll beat him in Columbus. We'll beat him in Dayton, Ohio. We'll play you wherever. We'll beat you. But I'm saying right now, the problem is that they win all their other games. They don't lose games like the Jets to the Jets.
Well, why can't we do that anymore? Why can't we do that?
We might do that right now.
True.
We might do that this season.
Can we talk about the new stadium stuff now?
Oh, here we go.
Taylor's saying that we're glossing over the fact that we lost the QBs this offseason. QB 1% is no longer on the roster. That's all right. He's going to win some games for the Commanders. But we can talk about this. We can talk about this new stadium. Yeah, we're a little bit of time left. We got a little bit of time. Let's talk about that new stadium because I know you don't like that new stadium. Why don't you like the new stadium, Mac? Why don't you like new things?
Because it's a whole it's a match right now between Jimmy Haslam and Mayor Bibb. It's a boxing match because here's the thing. When they originally proposed, okay, when the lease is up in 2026, we want a brand new stadium. We're going to build it in a different site. And Mayor Bibb came back and did the right thing for the city of people, or the city of Cleveland.
City of people.
And he wanted the deal to be better for the city. The one that Jimmy Haslam proposed just didn't work. So what did Jimmy Haslam do? And he said, okay, we'll do renovations on the stadium. But while we're doing renovations on the stadium, we're going to have to relocate for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Because guess what that does? That messes with
The
the
economy.
money that comes into the city. I mean, we're talking about a franchise that brought in $510 million to the city last year.
Yeah. Is it confirmed
And
that it's not a
you're
dome?
going to take that away for 2 to 3 years? I mean, I don't want to be dramatic here, but like, how else are you going to get $500 million? And you're telling me that the city's going to start operating at a deficit? Or I'm like, now granted, I sit here as a person who lives in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
the fans out there that are like you guys that are, from Philly, from Kentucky, there's great fans in Australia and, Great Britain and all over the world.
Browns
right?
backers everywhere. Shout out to Browns
Yeah,
backers.
yeah, they might not care,
Right.
but open your heart to the guys in Cleveland. I'm telling you, if they do not play these games in Cleveland or within the Cleveland area, it's gonna suck for us that live here.
Yeah.
Because the amount of, and this is win or lose, right? Win or lose. This team brings in money for the city because we love our team.
Yeah.
And you already moved us once? You're gonna move us again? Why?
I'm
and I know, and I'll let you guys talk in like 2 seconds here.
Yeah.
And I know what people are going to say. Well, the renovations are needed. You need to do this. Okay, look at Ohio Stadium. The Horseshoe, where everybody wants to go play.
Yeah.
That's been there for over 100 years. It's been renovated several times. They even expanded it. And games have not moved from that spot. So why are you sitting here and telling us that this team needs to be relocated for 2 to 3 years while the renovations are getting done? No, he's playing hardball. And don't do that with our team, damn it. Sorry.
Yeah.
But, you already moved it on us once. And I understand that he wasn't a part of that, of that ownership. But stop, it's already bad enough that we've gone through all of this. And there's a lot of stuff as Cleveland fan. And I don't mean to bring up the usual point, oh, woe is me for being a football fan. But the things that we have stuck through year after year.
Yeah.
To say to the people of Cleveland, hey, we're going to take your football team away for 2 to 3 years. Why? Why are us as fans being punished? And granted, I understand that there are a lot of other people that do not live in Cleveland. There are a lot of people that watch this Browns and they'll go anywhere. Hell, would I go anywhere? Probably. But man, oh man, don't take my football team.
I'm gonna make it a little bit of a lighter note on that side. Go on the flip side here because
sorry about that.
No. It's passionate, and we need that. But I want to convince you otherwise a little bit and make it a little bit happier to make it a little bit make more sense, just slightly. When Cleveland and the Cleveland Browns decide to move and relocate for a couple of years, if they decide to go with this stadium idea, I understand what you're talking about, a revenue and $500 million to the city of Cleveland. It's important. It is important. But the good news is the Cleveland Guardians are kind of good. The Cleveland Cavaliers are getting better. They're in the playoffs for the first time without LeBron. They're selling playoff tickets. They're selling playoff tickets for the Cleveland Guardians. I mean, it's not like they're both – if they were both bad, and not selling tickets, that's a little bit more money that's not going into Cleveland. Am I wrong in saying that?
So the Cavs were second out of the 3 teams. But they were $185 million less. The Guardians, who were a playoff team that had the Yankees come to town and took them to a 5-game series, okay, they made over $200 million less. Like, this is a football town, man. It always has been.
So
no. And I'm not saying that it makes more money than because AB is saying that do they make more money combined? That's not. I'm not saying that the revenue is going to switch really quickly. KFC. I'm not saying that the revenue is going to switch and then you can have that turnover help the loss of having the Browns for a couple of years. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is now is a better time than ever to have some revenue come into the city rather than when the Cavs weren't making the playoffs or not even making past the play-in or the guards weren't even good. I mean, now you have a little more money. You know what I'm saying? Instead of $1, you have $10. Well, it's a little bit closer.
Here's the thing. Me and Matty G were actually talking this after the Cavs game, and I said, dude, this is like 100 million times easier to get out of the downtown than after a Browns game. Because you got to think, even if the Browns don't sell out the whole game, that place sits 67,000 people in it.
Yeah.
And then you got to count the people that don't even go to the game, that just go to the Muni lot or the bars in downtown that just watch the game there. That's a ton of money just getting generated there. And
don't take my team, Jimmy. Jimmy, don't take my team.
And like, I'm not for the idea of them moving it to Columbus. Like, I've got some beef with that city. Like, there's nothing wrong. Like, I mean, they got great people. All of the people I interact with from there. It's just like, I've drove through that city so much to go to Cleveland. Yeah. And every time I hit it, the traffic's terrible. The construction's terrible.
I'm gonna get a lot of people upset when I say this, but keep going.
But it's, I mean, it may be a lovely city. I've never been to the Horseshoe. I actually want to go. I want to go catch a Ohio State Michigan game there, just to see how it is. Like I've not personally been just stayed in Columbus, but every time I go through, I don't. It's just not a good experience. Yeah. And I'm not dissing on the city. Don't take it that way. I just don't want the Cleveland Browns to be located in a city 2 hours south of Cleveland. It's
a city that's more closer to Cincinnati in terms of distance, culture and vibe and distance. Like that's a completely, and unless you're from Ohio, you wouldn't know this, but Cleveland and Columbus are completely two different cities. And honestly, I'm not even confident about the amount of Browns fans in Columbus in general, if we're being honest.
Because that's basically, I mean, you're basically a Buckeye fan.
Yeah, you're
you know what I mean? Yeah,
like it's nothing but scarlet and gray. I can promise you that.
Right.
Because I remember my sister went to dental school there, and I would go down there visit for weekends, and I would be, now of course, me being 21 at the time, all I owned was Brown shirts, so I was in something Browns, and I can promise you that I was one of the only people there. Now, did I get a few Go Browns? Of course. But everybody else was in scarlet and gray, man.
They might be more Cincinnati. There might be more Cincinnati Bengal fans in Columbus, would you say? Potentially?
I'd say so.
AB asked, KFC, can we talk about why Will Levis puts mayonnaise in his coffee? Is that a Kentucky thing? No, sir, it is not. That guy is from Connecticut, I believe, so it may be a Connecticut thing. He's only been in Kentucky for like 2 years, so he may pick that up.
So why are you going to do it when he gets drafted?
Because he represented the Wildcats and got us. Like, he had some pretty good times. Like, he was probably one of the better quarterbacks we've had in the last 25 years.
That's disgusting.
Him and Tim.
I just want you to know that's disgusting.
Couch.
That's disgusting.
Andre Woodson. You guys don't know who that is.
But really quick question though, and I know because I know we're about an hour and 13 minutes right now. But I think that the question that I kind of have is it's unique timing because Deshaun Watson's contract is 4 more years, right? So if they get the stadium back in 2028, maybe they're thinking that the Browns' hopes are changing entirely, and that's why that's the last hump they needed to get over. You know what I mean? That's the last obstacle they needed to get over and say, hey, let's actually build this new stadium because now we have a franchise quarterback. Do you think that has a part to play with it? Because the Buffalo Bills just did that with Josh Allen now.
Hear me out. I just thought about this, actually. What if that's just a ploy to get Mayor Bibbs and the people of the Cleveland City Council and stuff to allow them to buy another piece of property? Because, like, hey, we're gonna take the Browns out of Cleveland for a couple of years.
That was my point. That was my point
that was
earlier.
Mac's point
this is a
earlier.
chess match.
That could be
This is a chess
true.
match. Yeah.
That could be true. Sorry, Mac. I didn't hear you say that yesterday.
I zone out
But yeah,
sometimes.
You're good. You're good.
that's a good
passes
point.
get
No,
to-
that's a very good point, Mac, that you bring up. Because
And
I mean,
don't
look how
say
excited
what-
we are. Look how pumped up we are about it. Don't move the Browns for 2-3 years.
Exactly. I love my 7
Look at the
hour
money.
drive
Look
up
at the
there.
money. Follow the money.
Listen,
Can I be honest with you guys? When
Let's hear
that
it.
came out, I was visibly distraught.
Wow.
Like I'm gonna be like granted, everybody's like, oh Mac, well you're just super in touch with your feelings and always dramatic and you're so extra. But like I'm being
Fact.
serious. I heard the news and I immediately got sad. I was like, now granted, this is something in 2026. And like just thinking about it, like thinking about me waking up one day and not being able to take a 10-minute Uber to the stadium. Me waking
You love
up
your
one
Browns,
day,
bro. You love your Browns. There's nothing
like
wrong with that.
yeah, you know, so it's like I really hope, and like I just have no facts to back up this theory, only just a lot of decently logical conclusions.
Right.
But I really do think and believe that this is a chess match between Jimmy Haslam and Mayor Bibb, because you know, and granted, I'm not even a big politics guy, but I love Mayor Bibb. I love the stuff that he's doing for this city, and I think he's done a really great job, you know. But I think that he needs to realize that, like, even if you got to give in a little bit, just please, just keep the Browns in Cleveland, man. Don't take my team, Jimmy.
Don't listen. I hope they don't
Put that on
take
a
the Cleveland
shirt.
Browns. I hope they don't.
Put that
I
on
hope
a
they
shirt.
don't. But I do want a new stadium, but not at all costs. All right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
no, want a new stadium, but not at all costs. All right, guys. What a wonderful, wonderful show. It was so great to be back. It's been, been one Monday since, we had a little vacation time. So that's fantastic. So glad to see you guys. Any final words before we check out?
Go check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Everywhere you go for social media platforms, even Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast. It don't matter. We're everywhere. Go check us out. Rate us 5 stars if
Five
you want
stars.
to. 4
All day,
stars,
every day.
whatever you want to
If
do.
you
Go
like this
Cavs.
hoodie,
Go
check it
Cavs,
out
by the way.
on
Go Cavs
merch
tomorrow.
Shop.
Yeah,
Some
go
merch.
check out our bonfire
Check out the
shop.
merch. It's Chub Time hoodie.
It's chub time. But yeah, go check us out everywhere. We upload pretty much the next day. Every day we go live. So we usually go live about 7 to 7:30 on Mondays, and we drop that anytime on Tuesday morning. So go check us out. Oh, and don't forget, next Friday we will be doing that live at 12.
Yes.
So tune into that, and
Go Cavs tomorrow night. Go Celtics. Go Browns.
Go Cavs, go
Go Browns,
Browns,
baby.
go Guards. And as always,
Bird Shot!